Prince Andrew and the former President Bill Clinton have been named in newly released court documents relating to the offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Recently, some old photos have popped up online and they're causing quite a stir. These aren't just any photos. They show Jeffrey Epstein hanging out with some powerful and well-known individuals like Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew. These pictures give us a peek into Epstein's world, a world that was full of powerful connections and really bad actions. The photos have caused many people to doubt the authorities and national security. Today, we will take a look at these controversial and provocative photos to understand how the public image of powerful figures could be a fake facade. Before we dive into the newly discovered photographs of Epstein's inner circle, it's essential to understand the FBI raid of Little St. James Island. The FBI raid on Epstein's Island. The raid on Jeffrey Epstein's Little St. James Island stands as a pivotal moment in the unraveling of one of the most enigmatic figures of the 21st century. Orchestrated by the FBI in the somber aftermath of Epstein's untimely death, this meticulously executed operation peeled back the layers of secrecy that shrouded Epstein's private domain, revealing not just the physical evidence of his crimes, but also the intricate web of his social and professional engagements. This section delves into the details of the raid, the discovery of the photographs, and the broader implications of what was found. The decision to raid Little St. James Island was not taken lightly. In the wake of Epstein's death, questions about the extent of his criminal activities and the potential involvement of high-profile individuals loomed large. The island, a luxurious retreat far removed from the prying eyes of the public, had long been the subject of speculation and rumor. Known to some as Island, it represented a physical bastion of Epstein's untouchable status. The FBI's operation was thus not just a search for evidence, but a symbolic strike at the heart of Epstein's empire. On the morning of August 12, 2019, as the sun cast its first light over the Caribbean, a team of FBI agents approached the shores of Little St. James. Their arrival by boat was a silent assertion of the law's reach, even to the most secluded corners of power and privilege. The agents, equipped with the authority of search warrants and the expertise necessary to navigate the complexities of such an investigation, stepped onto the island with a sense of purpose. Their mission was clear: to uncover every piece of evidence that could shed light on Epstein's alleged crimes and the network that supported them. As the agents combed through the opulent buildings and manicured landscapes of Little St. James, they encountered a trove of photographs that would soon captivate the world's attention. These images, hidden away in the privacy of Epstein's personal quarters, captured moments of camaraderie and intimacy between Epstein and a host of influential figures. Among them were photographs of Epstein with Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew, each image a piece of the puzzle in understanding Epstein's complex network of relationships. These photographs, beyond their immediate shock value, were a testament to the reach of Epstein's influence across the highest echelons of power. The photographs discovered during the raid were more than just evidence of Epstein's proximity to power. They were windows into the mechanisms of influence and manipulation that he wielded so effectively, and the extent to which his social sphere facilitated or turned a blind eye to his criminal behavior. The discovery of these images thus served a dual purpose. They were crucial pieces of evidence in the ongoing investigation into Epstein's activities, and they were also a public reckoning with the reality of his unchecked power. In the days and weeks following the raid, the photographs and other evidence gathered from Little St. James would begin to trickle out into the public domain, each release reigniting the discourse around Epstein's crimes and his connections. The raid on Little St. James Island was a moment of revelation, laying bare the hidden world of Jeffrey Epstein and forcing a global conversation about accountability, power, and the protection of the vulnerable in society. This is especially true when considering Epstein's controversial relationship with powerful billionaire and former President Donald Trump. Photo number 1. Epstein and Donald Trump. Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's relationship dates back to the late 1980s and 1990s, a period marked by opulent parties and social gatherings that defined New York's elite social scene. Both men were prominent figures in this milieu, with Epstein as a financier, known for his wealth and connections, and Trump as a real estate mogul and public personality. Their paths crossed in various social settings, from private parties to public events, establishing a camaraderie that was captured in photographs and media reports from that era. One of the most widely discussed photographs captures Epstein and Trump together at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's Palm Beach club, in the early 2000s. In the image, both men are seen smiling, surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills, an image that has since become emblematic of their association. This photograph, taken years before Epstein's criminal activities became public knowledge, presents a visual record of their interaction, raising questions about the nature of their relationship and the extent to which Trump was aware of Epstein's illicit behavior. The discovery and circulation of such photographs have led to intense scrutiny and speculation regarding the depth of Trump's connection to Epstein. Critics have pointed to these images as evidence of a close relationship, suggesting that Trump may have had greater knowledge of Epstein's activities than previously acknowledged. However, following Epstein's arrest and the ensuing scandal, Trump distanced himself from Epstein, stating that they had a falling out many years ago and had not spoken in over a decade. In the wake of Epstein's legal troubles, Trump's association with Epstein has come under closer examination, with detractors questioning whether Trump had any involvement in or knowledge of Epstein's trafficking operations. Trump and his representatives have categorically denied any such involvement or knowledge, emphasizing the social nature of their relationship and downplaying any close ties. The connection between Epstein and Trump extends beyond their individual relationship, reflecting broader societal issues related to power, influence, and accountability. The public's reaction to their association underscores a growing concern about how societal elites interact, protect each other, and use their positions to evade scrutiny. The dialogue surrounding their connection highlights the need for greater transparency and ethical standards among those in positions of power. The relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump is emblematic of the complex web of associations that Epstein cultivated among the world's most powerful and influential figures. While the exact nature and extent of their acquaintance remain subjects of speculation and controversy, the photographs and historical context provide a window into a world where wealth and status could obscure troubling realities. As investigations into Epstein's activities continue, the public's understanding of these connections may evolve, shedding new light on the intersecting orbits of two of America's most controversial figures. Photo number 2. Epstein and Bill Clinton. The relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and former President Bill Clinton has been a subject of intense scrutiny and speculation, especially in the wake of Epstein's arrest and subsequent death. The connections between these two high-profile figures encompass flights on Epstein's private jet, known infamously as the Lolita Express, visits to Epstein's private island, Little St. James, and a myriad of public and private interactions that have drawn both media attention and public intrigue. This complex web of associations between Epstein and Clinton sheds light on the intricate and often hidden intersections of power, influence, and accountability. One of the most tangible links between Epstein and Clinton are the flight logs from Epstein's private jet. Reports indicate that Clinton flew on Epstein's aircraft multiple times, a fact that Clinton's team has acknowledged, though they've emphasized that these trips were related to work for the Clinton Foundation and its associated humanitarian efforts. The jet, dubbed the Lolita Express by the media, has become synonymous with Epstein's alleged crimes, casting a shadow over everyone associated with it, including Clinton. The flight logs, meticulously kept, reveal not just the frequency of Clinton's travels with Epstein, but also the nature of their destinations. These included international locales that were ostensibly linked to Clinton's philanthropic endeavors. However, the association with Epstein's means of transportation has raised questions about the due diligence and ethical considerations of engaging with Epstein, given his then-known reputation and subsequent criminal charges. Beyond the flights, Epstein's private island, often referred to as Island by critics, has been another focal point of the Clinton-Epstein narrative. While there is no evidence to suggest Clinton visited the island during any of Epstein's alleged criminal activities, the very association with Epstein's notorious retreat has fueled speculation and controversy. Public appearances and photographs capturing Clinton and Epstein together at various events further complicate the narrative. These images, showing the men in seemingly cordial interaction, have been dissected by the public and media alike, searching for signs of deeper connections or evidence of impropriety. In response to the revelations and growing public scrutiny, Clinton's representatives have issued statements detailing his interactions with Epstein. They've emphasized the professional nature of their relationship, specifically highlighting the philanthropic reasons for their association. Clinton himself has distanced himself from Epstein, noting that he was unaware of Epstein's criminal activities. However, these statements have not fully quelled the public's curiosity or skepticism. The high-profile nature of both figures, combined with the serious nature of Epstein's crimes, has led to a continued examination of their interactions. Critics argue that Clinton's association with Epstein, however professionally motivated, reflects broader issues of judgment and accountability among the elite. The Epstein-Clinton connection serves as a microcosm of the broader issues at play in Epstein's narrative, the intersection of wealth, power, and morality. It raises uncomfortable questions about how society navigates relationships with individuals known for their philanthropy, yet accused of heinous crimes. Furthermore, it underscores the challenge of disentangling professional and personal associations in the upper echelons of power, where social, political, and financial networks are deeply interwoven. Photo number 3. Epstein and Prince Andrew. The relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew, Duke of York, has become one of the most scrutinized aspects of the Epstein scandal, embodying the complexities of accountability, privilege, and the repercussions of high-profile associations. This connection has not only cast a long shadow over Prince Andrew's public life and duties, but has also raised profound questions about the intersection of royalty and moral responsibility in the modern era. Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein have been documented through various sources, including flight logs, public records, and notably photographs that have cemented the controversial nature of their relationship. One of the most damning pieces of evidence is a photograph showing Prince Andrew with his arm around Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's accusers, with Ghislaine Maxwell, a close associate of Epstein and a convicted trafficker, standing in the background. This image and the stories that surround it have become emblematic of the scandal, encapsulating the serious allegations against Epstein and his circle. Virginia Giuffre has publicly accused Prince Andrew of abuse, claims that he has vehemently denied. According to Giuffre, she was trafficked by Epstein and Maxwell and was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew on 3 separate occasions, including when she was under the age of 18. Prince Andrew, in a widely criticized interview with the BBC, sought to refute these allegations, offering alibis and questioning the authenticity of the photograph with Giuffre. However, his explanations have been met with skepticism by the public and have led to further inquiries into his connections with Epstein. The fallout from Prince Andrew's association with Epstein has been significant. The Duke of York has stepped back from royal duties, and his patronages and military titles have been returned to the Queen. The scandal has also strained the public's trust in the monarchy, prompting a broader debate about the accountability of royal figures and their associations. Furthermore, Prince Andrew's attempts to clear his name have led to legal battles, most notably a civil lawsuit filed by Giuffre seeking damages for the alleged abuse. The British royal family's response to the allegations against Prince Andrew has been measured, with Buckingham Palace issuing statements emphasizing that the Duke of York's legal issues are a personal matter. This stance, however, has not quelled public interest or criticism, as many see the scandal as indicative of wider issues within the monarchy, including the handling of misconduct and the implications of royal privilege. As investigations into Epstein's activities continue, Prince Andrew's connections to the disgraced financier remain a point of intense interest and legal scrutiny. The Duke of York has faced calls to cooperate with law enforcement inquiries in the United States, and the legal challenges he faces have the potential to shed further light on Epstein's network and the extent of the prince's involvement. The Epstein-Prince Andrew saga has broader implications for how society views power, privilege, and justice. It raises critical questions about the accountability of public figures, the limits of royal immunity, and the mechanisms in place to protect victims of abuse. The ongoing legal and public relations battles faced by Prince Andrew underscore a growing demand for transparency and ethical conduct, even and especially among the world's most elite circles. The Epstein List. The Epstein List, a document or series of documents purportedly detailing the vast network of Jeffrey Epstein's associations, stands as a testament to the extensive reach of Epstein's influence across the globe. This list, which includes names from the highest echelons of society, politics, finance, and entertainment, has become a focal point in the ongoing investigation into Epstein's activities, raising questions about the nature of his relationships with some of the world's most powerful individuals. While images and direct evidence linking all individuals to Epstein's criminal activities have not been publicly disclosed, the mere mention of their names in association with Epstein has sparked intense scrutiny, speculation, and controversy. The photographs of Epstein with figures like Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew that have gone viral only scratch the surface of Epstein's complex web of connections. The Epstein list suggests a network that extends far beyond these well-documented associations, potentially implicating a broader array of influential figures in various capacities. While the exact contents of the Epstein list remain partly shrouded in mystery, reports and investigations have hinted at connections to other high-profile figures across different sectors. Tech moguls and entrepreneurs. Epstein's interest in scientific research and his investments in technology ventures reportedly put him in contact with prominent figures in Silicon Valley and the tech industry. His association with these circles has raised questions about the extent to which his financial contributions may have influenced research directions or provided him access to elite social networks, academia, and intellectual circles. Epstein was known to cultivate relationships with leading academics, scientists, and intellectuals, hosting conferences and dinners that brought together luminaries from various fields. The presence of these figures on the Epstein list has sparked a reevaluation of ethical standards in academic funding and the responsibility of scholars to vet their benefactors. Fashion and entertainment. Epstein's connections also extended into the fashion and entertainment industries, where he mingled with celebrities, models, and media moguls. The involvement of these figures has highlighted the vulnerabilities within these industries to exploitation and abuse, prompting calls for greater protections for young and emerging talents. Political figures beyond the U.S. While much attention has focused on Epstein's connections within American politics, the Epstein list hints at a network that spans multiple countries and includes foreign dignitaries and politicians. These international connections underscore the global scope of Epstein's influence and the cross-border challenges of investigating and prosecuting trafficking and abuse. The revelation of the Epstein list has far-reaching implications, challenging societies worldwide to confront uncomfortable truths about how power, wealth, and influence can be wielded to shield wrongdoing. For those named on the list, there is the immediate concern of guilt by association, as public scrutiny and legal inquiries delve into the nature of their relationships with Epstein. The Epstein list has galvanized calls for transparency and accountability, not just for those directly implicated in Epstein's crimes, but for all individuals and institutions that benefited from association with him. There is a growing demand for a thorough investigation into Epstein's network, with the aim of bringing to light the full extent of his activities and ensuring justice for his victims. As investigations continue and more information comes to light, the Epstein list remains a crucial piece of the puzzle in understanding the breadth of Epstein's crimes and the systemic failures that allowed them to continue for so long. For victims and advocates, the list is a symbol of the fight for justice, a fight that challenges society to hold the powerful accountable and to protect the vulnerable from exploitation and abuse. The Epstein list, with its unveiling of controversial connections, serves as a catalyst for societal change. It prompts a collective reckoning with the mechanisms of power and privilege and the ways in which they can be manipulated to evade justice. In the shadow of Epstein's legacy, there is an opportunity and a necessity to reform institutions, strengthen protections for the vulnerable, and reaffirm the principle that no one, regardless of their status or influence, is above the law. The nature of the Epstein list. The Epstein list, as it has come to be known, is not merely a collection of names, but a complex mosaic that offers a glimpse into the intricate web of relationships cultivated by Jeffrey Epstein over decades. This document, or series of documents, purportedly encompasses a wide array of individuals from various sectors of society: politics, finance, academia, entertainment, and technology, each connected in some way to Epstein. The nature of this list, shrouded in secrecy and speculation, has become a subject of intense scrutiny and interest, emblematic of the vast, shadowy network that Epstein assembled around himself. At its core, the Epstein list is a catalog of influence, detailing the extensive social network Epstein managed to infiltrate and cultivate. Epstein's strategic social positioning allowed him access to some of the most powerful and influential figures worldwide, enabling him to weave a tapestry of connections that would later become a source of both intrigue and horror as the details of his criminal activities came to light. The scope of the Epstein list is staggering, suggesting not just casual acquaintances, but deeper associations that spanned years, if not decades. It reflects Epstein's deliberate efforts to embed himself within the elite circles of society, leveraging his wealth, charisma, and the allure of his opulent lifestyle to attract a roster of high-profile contacts. The list suggests a network that transcends geographical and professional boundaries, linking disparate figures through a common thread: Epstein himself. Part of what makes the Epstein list so compelling and controversial is its ambiguity. Without clear evidence or context, the inclusion of any individual's name invites speculation about the nature of their relationship with Epstein. This ambiguity has fueled countless theories and investigations, as journalists, researchers, and the public alike seek to untangle the web of connections and discern who among Epstein's contacts might have been aware of or complicit in his crimes. The revelation of the Epstein list raises profound ethical quandaries. It challenges society to confront uncomfortable questions about guilt by association, the responsibilities of the wealthy and powerful to vet their associates, and the extent to which individuals should be held accountable for their social networks. For those named on the list, there is the daunting task of navigating the fallout, as they must address public scrutiny and legal inquiries into their associations with Epstein. More broadly, the Epstein list serves as a reflection of societal flaws, illustrating how wealth and power can create blind spots to morality and justice. It underscores the vulnerabilities in social, legal, and political systems that allow individuals like Epstein to exploit their positions for nefarious purposes. The list is a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and reform to prevent such abuses of power in the future. Understanding the nature of the Epstein list requires careful consideration of context. Each name represents a thread in the larger tapestry of Epstein's life, and unraveling these threads necessitates a nuanced approach that recognizes the complexities of human relationships. It demands a rigorous examination of the evidence and a commitment to fairness and justice, especially for those who may have been unwittingly caught in Epstein's orbit. Ultimately, the Epstein list is more than just a document. It is a symbol of the quest for transparency and justice in the aftermath of Epstein's crimes. It represents the ongoing efforts to uncover the truth, hold the guilty accountable, and ensure that the victims of Epstein's abuse receive the justice they deserve. As investigations continue and more information comes to light, the list remains a crucial piece of the puzzle, a key to understanding the depth and breadth of Epstein's influence and the systemic failures that allowed his criminal activities to flourish. The nature of the Epstein list, a complex, far-reaching network of influence and association, calls for a societal reckoning with the mechanisms of power and the safeguards necessary to protect the vulnerable. It is a call to action for systemic change, for increased accountability among the elite, and for a commitment to ethical conduct in all spheres of life. In deciphering the web of intrigue that Epstein wove, there lies an opportunity to address the underlying issues that allowed his crimes to go unchecked, and to build a more just and equitable society in the wake of his legacy.